Hello, everybody, and welcome to Professor P's podcast. I'm Natasha Palumbo, aka Professor P. I'm known for evoking the essence of spirituality by bringing the energetic fire, activating the mind, and speaking the truth. I'm so honored that you are here with us today. I thank you for joining. This podcast is focused on entrepreneurship, empowerment, and energetics. You're going to find a wealth of information inside, guest speakers, and the elixir, a dose of energetic power. So let us join in on today's podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Professor P's podcast. I'm so excited for you to be joining me again today. Listen, thank you so much for all the love, all the likes, all the comments. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I love that you're getting so much out of the podcast and the episodes and how they're feeding you. I do encourage you to go back through and listen to them. Some of the ones you might have listened to a long time ago. You can go and truly veg out on these episodes because they are short in nature and they're going to always give you that little pump of energy. You know, I'm big on the elixir, that dose of energetic power that I have zooming all through my body. I could light a small city, in all honesty, you guys, okay? A little tiny city, I'm sure I could light up. So I hope I'm lighting you up. This week, I'm coming with an entrepreneurial tip, and I'm excited to share this. This comes out of my first book, Entrepreneurship Empowered, and a book I'm super proud of. I'm proud of all my books, and I'm really excited about the ones that are forthcoming that I'm starting to get vision on and beginning to draft. But I want to talk to you today about the 4 talents. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Muhammad Ali, world champion boxer. My grandfather was a boxer, and he boxed under the name of Jack White back in the day and was somewhat famous. And he went on to own his own boxing studio, and he went on to train a lot of boxers, famous people. He was an amazing boxer. So I box. If you've ever seen me on social media, you see that I box. And I really love Muhammad Ali. What a talented boxer, one of the greatest boxers of all time. His success is directly related to his ability to think systematically. Systematically. Remember, success is not a secret, it is a system, everyone. You can go back and listen to that episode as well. He created patterns in his thought process that attracted greatness. Listen to me. He created patterns in his thought process that attracted greatness to him. But he was also very skilled, and he would outpractice anyone. As an empowered entrepreneur, you're going to need to be skilled like Ali. You'll need to have the same work ethic. It is so important that you have a strong work ethic in this game. You need to understand the power of your unique frequency, which is your thought process. You will need to settle for nothing less than greatness. Say it with me. I settle for nothing less than greatness. Listen, you are a child of the Most High God. You should never settle for anything less than greatness because it is available for you in this world. You will need to understand your unique talents. There are 4 talents that are critical to being an entrepreneur, an empowered entrepreneur. They are imagination, experimentation, insight, and wisdom. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you played? Now, you know I love this part. This is my favorite part. It cracks me up so much because I really see you. So raise your hands. Where are you at? Where are you at? Who wants to answer my question? Where are you? Oh, wait, I see you. Oh, yep. Oh, gosh. Wow, there's quite a lot of you today. When was the last time you played? Oh, it's been a long time. You're all like, it's been a long time, Professor. Yes, I know, it's been a long time. I mean, like freely played. You have to go and freely play. Just let your imagination run wild. Do you remember being a child and playing without a care in the world? Do you remember that? There are so many benefits to playing. There are so many benefits to allowing your imagination to just have free reign. And it is mission critical to entrepreneurship. I want you to think about how much you self-center yourself in this world and not allow yourself to truly let the beautiful creative genius that you are come through. There's a self-centering mechanism in the frontal lobe of our brain, right? And if you could see me now, I've got my hand, and I make, any of you who have been in my classes and you've done my workshops, you've seen me do this. I make you take this, like your hands up to the front, your hand to the front of your forehead, and just pull this self-centering thing out of your mind. Pull it off of your beautiful brain. You don't have to censor. We have found that when we have improvisation, we're able to handle actually what comes in life better. It's so rich right there. Because you're going to need to improv in this life, okay? Now listen, I'm type A, okay? I'll plan anything. And I used to say I'm recovering. That's a lie. I just stopped lying. I'm not really recovering because I'm really type A. So I plan everything. I'm very methodical. I'm very systematic. I'm very strategic in nature. And I have to be in all that I do. I balance a lot of things, right? I balance a lot of things. But there is so much liberty in being able to have an ability to improv, because you're going to need it. I want you to understand, as an empowered entrepreneur, it is important to develop your talent of imagination. It opens the mind, and when the mind is open, there is no limit to what it can and will produce. Imagination also activates creativity. You are going to need to be creative in this process. I'm always surprised at the number of people who believe they are not creative. Now, I understand that some people aren't crafty. I get that part. But when mothers especially tell me that they are not creative, I think to myself, how is that? You created a whole human, for God's sakes. Like, you brought forward a human, right? You made that human in your body. You developed that human in your body. And yes, thank you, God, that you created us. But you gave the woman the ability to hold and nurture and bring forward that human being. Life comes through the woman and the womb. So I want you to think about what is holding you back. Is it fear, which is false evidence appearing real? That can be an emotional block for you. I want you to remove all self-doubt and insecurity. The next time that your creativeness begins to flow and those juices begin to flow, I want you to run wild with your imagination. I want you to let it come through. I want you to remember, what was it that you played when you were little? Tap into that. That's the secret sauce, everyone. There is a bit of who you are today in who you were playing then. My God. I played teacher. I used to love being a teacher. I'm one of the baddest teachers around today, baby, okay? Professor P is the one. I am her, right? Because it is ingrained in me. These are gifts that God has given to you. The talent of experimentation is why scientists are so damn cool to me. Now, I love quantum physics. You all know that. I love metaphysics. I am probably a little bit of a science nerd inside. I do like science fiction a little bit, but I'm more like science real. I like real science and I can geek out on it. I like manufacturing. I can geek out on that kind of stuff. I'm definitely a little bit of a geek inside, and I love my little geek. Scientists are always experimenting. Without experimentation, we would not have the inventions today, nor the future of what is coming, right? There's so much happening with innovation, and it comes through experimenting. So I need you to go and try things out. There should be in your area things called maker spaces or different creative labs that you can go to and begin to try something out. You can just go pick a community class somewhere and try it out. Don't be afraid to experiment. In this life, in entrepreneurship, you're going to need to experiment. And I want you to have free reign to release your imagination and to go forward and to begin to experiment in your products and your services. When you experiment, you become open to learning about how new processes would work for your organizations and way to effectively cut costs and help organize and create flows and processes. There is no limit to experimenting. There's no limit to it. So I want you to make it a part of your daily practice somehow to put a little experiment in place, to try something. One of the best places, again, is at the maker spaces or 3D labs or places that allow you to come and code or do art. And you should be able to find those in your area. And if you can't, just do a search and say makerspace or innovation hub, something like that. At my new campus, there's an amazing innovation hub, and I'm taking my students there next week, and they're going to be able to see all the 3D printers, which I love. I was able to visit the County of Education here in San Diego, looking to do partnership with them, and they have so much innovation going on there. 3D printers and lasers, and again, so much to allow the mind to run and be able to experiment. Now we're going to turn our attention to talent 3, insight. Insight is really just empathy. Did you know that college kids today are 40% lower in empathy than they were in their counterparts 20 or 30 years ago? We have actually decreased in empathy, and we need it so much. I am so concerned for humankind. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to hold it back because I love humans so much. I am a humanitarian through and through. I genuinely love people pure of heart, and I am deeply concerned for humanity. I see us actually a great divide happening with a wayside of humans going one way and another going another, and technology is certainly driving the divide. As I develop more, I'll come more with that. But I want you to think about empathy as your superpower, insight as your superpower. Most of you know I am prophetic, and my gift is growing exponentially. Now that can be overwhelming because of the precision I know. It will never lose its wonder for me. God will never lose his wonder for me. I am so in love with Jesus. I am so in love with the Father. I am so in love with the Holy Spirit, everyone. It will never lose its wonder for me that it would use a wretch like me, that it would use a person like me who should be on the streets with my background, with all I've been through. I promise you, it is nothing but grace that stands before you and speaks. And this beautiful insight I have, I am calling to awaken that talent within you, that you would have empathy and know that your ability to feel and see is not a curse. It is your superpower. I want you to understand how much it plays in taking care of your clients and your customers and being able to understand how they are feeling within, how you are feeling within. And finally, our final talent, wisdom. Wisdom is timeless. It is so amazing. I am growing in wisdom, but I've always had a little bit of wisdom, even in my youth, from the experiences that I endured. Stop telling young people they do not have wisdom. My son is a wise young man, and he's been wise. I can remember so many times, even up to today, him speaking words of wisdom over my life. Young people do have wisdom. Does it grow greater? Absolutely. Because evolution and growth over a lifetime is the pursuit to mastery. But stop saying young people don't have wisdom, because they damn sure do. And you did in your youth, hopefully. And if you didn't, I encourage you to grow in wisdom, because that is the ultimate talent right there, is wisdom. As an empowered entrepreneur, I demand action. I am results driven, but I never negate the power of reflection. And in entrepreneurship, you must have both action and reflection in equal measure. And so in my reflection is my wisdom. That is where I gain greater wisdom. How often are you reflecting? From how your day was, to giving a presentation at work, to thinking about how your life is unfolding, where your goals are at. How often are you pausing and truly reflecting? With a pen and a paper, here's your homework. There it is. Here it comes. Pen and paper. Put pen and paper together, please. Put a pen in your hand. I'm trying to grow your brain, everyone. Stop typing this stuff in. Yes, there's a place for that, but please use a pen and paper and start snapping these synapses in your brain. I'm getting into your brain. I'm here to make you think. I'm here to grow your brain, because if you don't think for yourself, I can guarantee somebody's going to think for you. Controlled thought makes the most money. Poverty and oppression are big business. I'm calling you out today, especially my entrepreneurs, but these 4 talents are also for the empowered life. Take time to reflect. This is your homework today, that you would take pen and notepad and you would reflect. I want you to write out all the good, all the bad, all the ugly. I want you to write out how the seasons have been. Take note of the day and your energy level. I want you to be able to take these pieces and put your puzzle together. To be successful in any area, you must exercise wisdom and plan carefully. If wisdom is to bring you prosperity, joy, admiration, longevity of life, then you must be disciplined to reflect daily. Wisdom will give you durable wealth. Durable wealth. And I'm here to activate your wealth. Wisdom will give you durable wealth. So for your homework, I want you to think about your 4 talents. I want you to think about how often you are able to let yourself imagine. You are free to imagine. You are free to allow your creativity to flow. You are free to bring forward the beautiful vision that God has put in your spirit. You are free to be everything God called you to be. So I want you to take time to imagine. Imagine a world with your products and services. Imagine a world with your talents and skills. Imagine a world serving others in the capacity that your heart can hold for them. And I want you to push that vision as far as you can. I want you to imagine as much as you can. I want you to blow it out as far as you can. And then I want you to know that God can do far greater. He's such a good God. He can do far greater than we could imagine. So in today, I want you to imagine tomorrow. I want you to reflect. I want you to remove every bit of self-censoring and do not let anything stop flowing from coming down. It's not about when it will be used. It's about the fact that it will be used. You don't have to use it today. You don't need to know when. You don't even need to know the big hows, you guys. You don't need to know the big wins. You don't need to know the big house. You need to know the little ones. You need to know the little ones. When God shows you a big vision, God showed me a big vision almost 10 years ago. I immediately made a vision board for it. I've been so eager, especially after he shook me after a year of me not really walking in it and told me, I told you that this was the vision. And I began walking in it as a speaker, as a rising speaker, as a prophetic speaker, as an author, as one who has been sent. But I'm not worried about when it will happen. I know it's already done. And as I begin to create, I let things come through. So I want you to imagine today. And then I want you to go out and play. You are free to play. Please allow yourself the freedom to play. Go experiment with these things. It's okay if it fails. It's okay if it messes up. That's a trick. There is no failure. Oh, I wish y'all could get this today. All things work to the good. All things work to the good. There is no failure. It's a lie. Those are lessons to teach you how to go and try again and to do it again. Stay gritty, baby. Go listen to that podcast. So I want you to go experiment the imagination that comes through. And I want you to think about your insight. I want you to think about the empathy you have. Ooh. Somebody in here, you stopped trying to feel. You said it was a curse. It was hurting too much. So you started blocking it. You've been released. You've been released. You've been released. You've been released. Yes, we're removing that today. You've been released. You've been released. You've been released. Yes, you've been released to feel. You are able to feel and free those feelings, okay? You are able to feel. You feel for others. Yes, but this does not mean we do not have boundaries, everyone. Boundaries are to protect me and not to offend anyone. And boundaries do not prevent me from feeling and being empathetic to others. And they certainly do not prevent me from having insight and an ability to see. They have actually given me a greater vision and power. So I awaken the empathy in the sleeping ones today because you have a beautiful gift. It is not a curse. It is a blessing. And I need you to take your blessing and I need you to run with it because you are wise. And I want you to reflect in your homework about your life, what you've endured, what you've gone through. That is rich wisdom. It will give you longevity. It will give you durable wealth and riches. And it is yours to speak and freely share because humanity needs us. We need each other. We need each other. So I want you to take time now and I want you to reflect. And then I want you to figure out how you can implement these 4 talents into your entrepreneurship journey and into the empowered life. Thanks everyone for listening today. I hope you received a lot out of that episode and are feeling energized and ready for whatever lies ahead. If you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate it if you'd share it out. Thank you in advance for doing so. Please also connect with me on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Natasha M. Palumbo. And until next time, be encouraged, be empowered, and as always, be well.